Thank you, Peg, and hello, everybody. It's a beautiful venue. I've enjoyed the reading so much so far. Really glad to be here. I want to just a quick plug. I know we all have Liquake events, and everybody that we all know has Liquake events. But this is mine. It's No Burritos, A Night with Huizache magazine, and Huizache is one of the premier magazines of Latino literature. And they're doing really great work, work that seeks to explode stereotype, and I'm excited about it. So it's Wednesday night. I'm just going to put that out there, and the book is there if you want to see it.
Where is that?
It will be at the San Francisco Elks Lodge. Funny you should ask, but Wednesday night, please join us. It's a free event. So the piece that I'm going to read, it's an older piece, and what's odd about this one is that it took 8 years to find a publisher with the balls to publish it. It is somewhat of an untoward story. Not because there are untoward characters, but because the story itself is untoward. So there's a note for persistence. There's something to learn in that. 8 years.
Mike.
Piece is called Near Unison.
Who's Mike?
Mike?
Yeah.
That's my husband. In the peanut gallery.
That's much better thing.
Is that better? Okay. Near Unison. Interpreter, I announce, entering the examination room. Sorry to keep you waiting. Oh good, you're here, says Dr. Lichter, without looking up from the file in her lap. We got through most of it, but find out what Mrs. McGann wants to ask. I hang my purse on a hook beside the Sharp's disposal box. Mother and patient sit on folding chairs against the window, striped in sunlight leaking through the blinds. ¿Cuál es su pregunta? I ask her. Mrs. Magaña answers in Spanish, and I transform her words into English, almost without thinking, without analyzing. I assume her voice and mannerisms. We speak in near unison. We say, I'm worried about Pablo because his thing seems too big. My other son didn't look like this at his age. Dr. Lichter looks up from her notes, her wispy eyebrows raised. His penis, it's enormous. Mrs. Magaña holds her hands about a foot apart and widens her eyes at the space between them. Her curvaceous lips twitch like Marilyn Monroe's. The boy of the gigantic phallus sits with his head and shoulders folded towards his mother, as though hoping to slide back into her body through a secret entrance at her armpit. His thick black lashes flutter like moth wings. Craggy vertebrae protrude through his baby blue t-shirt. He is severely disabled, physically and perhaps developmentally. Unless Dr. Lichter speaks the name of his malady, I won't know it. As an interpreter, I don't ask questions. My function is to facilitate conversation without influencing it. I am a machine. Could it keep growing? Mrs. Magaña asked quietly. I've never seen one this big, not even on a man. The boy rocks in his chair slowly, on a secret ocean. He draws his knees apart. I imagine the outrageous member flattened under his jeans, notched and deflated like a day-old balloon animal. How can this fragile boy carry around a John Holmes cock? Dr. Lichter's eyes are a blue so light, I can see right through them into her brain. Inside, she's laughing. I also find this one funny, which makes us both black-hearted. Has he begun to masturbate? Asked the doctor. Ha empezado a masturbarse, I shadow. I have found stains in his pants and also on the floor. The doctor makes notes on the chart. I flashed to the day I found a porn mag in my own son's algebra binder, how the realization that I wouldn't always be the most important woman in his life felt like a sucker punch. Pablo is 10? Asked Dr. Lichter. He'll be 11 next week, won't you, my heart? She peers at him solicitously and kisses his forehead. The lipstick stains him. She smudges it with her thumb, leaving a pinkish mark like a scrape above his eyebrow. High school is my son's problem. He's 16. He won't let me touch his hair anymore, much less kiss his face. He padlocks his room when he goes out. Naturally, I have no idea about his penis size. If it were extraordinary, like Pablo Magaña's, I'd be happy for him. It would be a boon in his life, a source of pride for him, and a joy to his lover. I don't even know if my son has a girlfriend. He doesn't tell me those things. We did a scan last time you were here, says Dr. Lichter, and Pablo's endocrine levels are those of a 15 to 16-year-old. He must have entered puberty very early, at about 8. Is that normal? Mrs. Magaña, your son's brain is not normal. The mother stiffens, as if someone she doesn't like has entered the room. We did the scan to rule out the presence of a tumor on the pituitary gland. He could have a tumor. She pales. In the vast sea of future possibilities, Pablo is yanked away in a cancerous riptide. She's left bobbing alone on the surface with thousands of little pills in a back brace, surreal medical bills, a half-pack of adult diapers, and a clunky orthopedic shoe. Since his endocrine levels are high, we had to rule it out. We did not find a tumor. So the test was normal. No, Dr. Lichter answers sharply, not normal. Tight little lines dance across her lips, and I realize that she's worn out from arguing with hopeful mothers. But we did not find a tumor. Mrs. Magaña relaxes into a radiant smile, all dimples. Oh, good. Oh, thank you, doctor. The puberty phase should close within a year or two. His penis probably won't grow much more. Did you hear that, my heart? Says Mrs. Magaña. She touches his arm, she strokes his back. Pablo lifts his bushy eyebrows and moans. He needs her endlessly, will stay beside her endlessly. She kisses him, licks her thumb, and smears the lipstick. I touched my son for an instant this morning, contact stolen before I woke the beast to get him off to school. He lay on his side, and I placed my fingers on his broad back, just to assure myself of its warmth. He's a big boy, a little doughy, but not fat. He probably won't grow much taller. I noticed a small round welt on his forearm. It might be a cigarette burn. My son brings home bruises from football games and hangovers from parties I can't keep him away from. His nose was broken by someone I have never met. Thank you.